Making realistic AI videos is hard as if your videos look like this, they're garbage. The characters look like Barbie, the lighting makes zero sense, and the whole scene looks like it came out of an early 2000s video game. These GTA live action videos from CC Straight have over 5 million views, but there are still people in the comments saying it looks like AI slop. So in this video, I'm gonna challenge myself to recreate a viral live action GTA video, but with perfect cinema realism using the groundbreaking new Seedance 2.5 video model. And I only have $100 to spend because AI video is expensive as I'll show you the full 3-step workflow, how I prepare the assets, generate the shots, and edit everything into a finished video. And by the end of this video, I'll also show you this one new upscaling trick no one else is telling you to get that crisp 4K footage. So, is it possible for one man to make an ultra-realistic AI video with just $100?
No, everything is wrong. This is the hardest video I ever made.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So the first thing we need to do is to create a script. And for this video, our short film is gonna be based off a mission from GTA San Andreas called Wrong Side of the Tracks. We're gonna split our short film into 4 scenes. The first scene happens outside the house, then we travel to the station. The third scene is the actual chase where CJ and Big Smoke go after the other gang members. And the fourth and final scene is the ending, where Big Smoke hits us with the iconic line,
"All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ."
Now we're gonna tweak the original story a bit because what works for video games sometimes doesn't translate well into live action. You know what I mean. And just to make the story easier to follow, I'm gonna remove the officers completely and keep the focus on CJ, Big Smoke, and the gang members. Now we're gonna turn that concept into an actual script. In my previous video, a lot of you asked what AI agent I was using. I'm using the built-in agent on Yapper in this video. It's powered by Claude, and it has all the cinematic video making skills and major image and video models out of the box. I might be the only creator brave enough to tell you this. You don't need to write prompts anymore. What I mean is AI agents with Claude are so good at writing prompts right now that you don't have to worry about specifics of writing each prompt one at a time. Just give your idea and references to your agent and make more changes to the final prompt. In fact, I don't even type anymore, I just speak. Let me show you what I need. I'll leave all the prompts and assets in the description so that you can follow along. So this is the agent, and usually I just talk to the agent like I'm directing someone. I tell it what I want in normal conversational English, and it helps to turn that into an actual prompt. Sometimes I'm specific, sometimes I'm like, yeah, just make this cooler. So I'm gonna use a speech-to-text plugin and just speak directly to the agent. Basically, instead of spending 20 minutes writing a live prompt, I could just spend 30 seconds rambling into my microphone. Let me show you what I meant. I want to turn this GTA San Andreas mission, Wrong Side of the Tracks, into a live action script, and I want to remove the officers. All you have to do was to follow the damn train, CJ. And I'm gonna hit stop right now. So whatever that I say got transcribed into text. Pretty cool. So we're just gonna hit submit and the AI agent is gonna start working, and just a few seconds later we got a full script. A quick reminder is that AI is just the tool. Just because AI prompt for you doesn't mean that it should think for you. Cinematic films require great taste, which only you can add. So don't just copy paste whatever prompt the agent is giving you. You're still the director, you still decide what works, what doesn't, and what need to change. So I just read through the prompt that I was given, and if anything feels off, I'll go back to the agent and tell it what to fix. And don't worry about cost or running out of daily Claude tokens, it's free. Once the script looks good, we can now move on.
Yo, Smoke, how my hair look?
You look like you're wearing a cotton candy cloud on your head.
So now that we have the script, it's time to prepare the assets. The first thing we need to figure out is how many characters we have. You can do it manually or ask the agent to list out for you. Before you start prompting, make sure you set up the agent. If you go into settings, you'll see separate instructions for image prompting and video prompting. Since we're making a film, there are a few things I want to keep consistent throughout the project. I'm gonna make sure to have Unreal XL look, IMAX style visuals, soft shadows, cinematic realism, film grain, soft lighting, and a slightly underexposed look while still keeping everything readable. But for video instructions, it's more or less the same, but I like to add in a mix of wide, mid, and close-up shots, handheld camera, professional cinematographer, diegetic sound only, no music. Basically what it does is that it will include all these instructions to everything that we generate from this point on. It's gonna lock in these visual styles to everything we generate so we don't have to repeat ourselves every time. For a consistent cinematic look, I recommend picking a camera from the list of Netflix certified cameras here and adding it to your agent settings. Of course, if you want a different look, you can always change it, but for this video, we're gonna keep the same look throughout the video. So I'll set it once and just leave it there. And now it's time to generate our character sheets. Now, most AI creators would tell you you gotta describe the hair, describe the outfit, describe how he looks. Nah, man, I'm too lazy to do that. So now I'm gonna show you the easy way to create a realistic version of your favorite anime or video game character. Since our character is based on a video game, we already know what they look like. So instead of describing everything manually, we can just go to Google, find a really good image of CJ, Big Smoke, and the Vagos gang members, then paste those into the agent and ask to create the element sheets. Or 99% of people waste most of the time in pre-production is making the character sheets one by one. You can generate all of them in one go with the agent. Now there are a few things I'm very particular about when it comes to element sheets. Most people skip these next steps and wonder why the characters are not consistent. First, I want a light gray background because this provides more separation between the characters and the background. Like CJ over here wears a white top, so if I use a white background, it's gonna blend in too much. Light gray gives me enough separation while still keeping things clean. I would create 4 different panels: full body front, side back, and also a medium close-up, and I would remove the head from the full body shot so that the AI knows exactly which one is the face. The agent is gonna suggest some prompts for me, and again, like I always say, read the prompts first. Don't just hit generate straight away and waste your credits. Make sure everything actually matches what you want. Remember, you are the center of all of this. Don't let the AI control you. You should be controlling the AI. So always remember, double check, don't just hit generate. Your input affects the output. If your images look fake, so will your video. So don't rush, take your time, don't be sloppy here. Make sure to generate the best character sheets that you can.
I don't know, man. What's with your face?
What's with my face?
Dog, it's a little off.
Nah, man, you tripping.
As for resolution, I usually generate my references in 2K. You can go 4K and obviously you'll get more detail, but for this workflow, I think it's a little overkill. 2K already gives me enough detail for the face, clothing, and environment while keeping the cost down. If I'm doing a really detailed close-up or something I know I'm gonna crop into, then yeah, I might use 4K. Otherwise, I'd rather save those credits for actual video generations. I also like generating in batches of 4, which cost 80 credits. That's around 56 cents. So if you do this to all 3 characters, that's around $1.68. You can generate in batches of 8 if you want, but I prefer 4 because I don't have that much credits. And also, if something goes wrong, I would just tweak it and regenerate it again. But images are relatively cheap, so don't be afraid to keep regenerating until you get something good. One of the biggest mistakes I see beginner AI filmmaker make is not having an element sheet for their props. This is extremely important to keep each item consistent from shot to shot. The more specific you are with your references, the more consistent your final video is going to be. Otherwise, the AI video model will simply guess what it should look like, and you'll end up with something weird like a car changing size over the course of your video. For this scene, I'm going to make references for the car, train, and bike, and those are the main objects that are going to show up a lot. So I want to make sure they stay consistent throughout the video. Now, one final thing we need to prepare is the location. Same process as before. Since Grove Street already exists in the game, I don't need to describe everything from scratch. I can just find a good reference image, drop it into the agent, and ask it to turn into a live action realistic looking image. And I always ask for a wide shot here because it will capture as much information about the environment as possible. When I use a wide shot as a reference, it helps the model to understand the shape of my world and maintain better spatial consistency. And for a little more visual context, I also tell the agent to reference LA streets in the 90s since Los Santos is heavily inspired by LA. That gives the AI a much clearer idea of the world that we're trying to create. So now that we've got all of our assets ready, it's finally time to start generating our video. Alright, we're ready to generate. Here's the full script. Read it through, break it down, and suggest the shots that we need for each scene. I'm just gonna copy and paste my script into the agent and hit enter. So now instead of figuring out every single shot ourselves, the agent can give us a starting point and then we can tweak it from there. So now as you can see, the agent has suggested a bunch of shots for us. I went through them and honestly, they're pretty good. So I'm gonna generate these in batches of 2 at 480p. But wait, you might be thinking, I'm making ultra-realistic videos, but why am I generating at the lowest resolution? You might think this doesn't make sense, but if you have been following the channel, you'll know how it's going to save us cost during post-production. But if you don't, stick around until the end because I'll show you exactly why this is the most cost-effective way to get lifelike 4K resolution footage from Seedance 2.5. So generating 2 15-second clips at 480p with Seedance 2.5 costs around 580 credits, which is around $4.06. If you want to save credits, you can always use Seedance 2.0. It's a little cheaper, but it is still a really good model. But for this video, I want to use the best model available, which is Seedance 2.5. So let's hit generate, and here are the results.
Yo, Smoke, what's happening, man?
Man, we got some fools out here making moves. Vago's been acting real bold lately.
Yeah? What they into now?
I think these 2 shots look really good, and at this point I probably have enough footage for the first scene.
These clips look about right. What we gonna do next?
One thing that I like to do is to edit as I go, so I gotta bring everything into CapCut, which is free to download, by the way. First, I'll cut the footage every time the camera angle changes. I do this because one AI generation can actually contain several usable shots, and splitting them lets me treat each angle as its own clip. Then I can compare them properly, remove the weaker parts, and have way more control over the edit. Once everything is separated, I'll go through all the different variations and rearrange them, basically picking the best moments from each one and building the scene from there. And this is what I ended up with.
Yo, Smoke. What's happening, man?
Man, we got some fools out here making moves. Vago's been acting real bold lately. Heard they got something going down over by the station. Ain't sitting right with me.
Right then. Let's go see what they on.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on.
If you look at the spatial continuity, it feels a little off because these shots came from different generations. The characters aren't always standing in exactly the same place, so when you cut between them, it can feel a little off. There are two ways to fix this. The obvious one is to regenerate the shot, but that doesn't guarantee that our characters is gonna stand in the correct place that we want them to be. Instead of spending more credits regenerating the whole thing, I'm gonna stick to this one trick I picked from Filmmaking: insert shots. An insert shot is basically a quick cutaway to smaller detail, maybe the gang members hanging out or someone grabbing a gun. It gives you something to cut to between two shots that don't match perfectly. So now the agent gives me 3 different 6-second shots, which cost around 360 credits, or roughly $2.52. And now I can drop one of these insert shots between the two clips. And now the spatial continuity doesn't really matter anymore because we're breaking up the scene instead of just cutting directly from one position to another. Now the insert shot already fixes the continuity problem, but I still want the whole sequence to feel more stylized. And here's the funny thing, you don't need some crazy VFX software for this. I'm gonna show you a free way to make better editing than 90% of AI creators. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna head over to effects, and I found this really cool trippy effect. So I'm gonna apply it to my clip, but it's going to apply to my whole clip. So I want to create a mask over here, and right now the effect is just gonna be where the mask is, but I don't want the effect to be in the middle. I want it to be in the edges, so I'm just gonna invert the mask. The distortion effect only affects the edges. Last but not least, add some feathers so it kind of softens the edges, giving this really nice looking fisheye distortion effect. Now with all the effects, it makes the cut feel way more intentional. And all of that with just one effect in CapCut that you can do it for free.
Damn, that looks fine.
So for the next one, we're doing a montage through the streets of LA. This one is pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna try something we never done on this channel before. We're gonna generate a 30-second clip. Seedance 2.0 can generate up to 15 seconds, but now with Seedance 2.5, you can generate a full 30-second sequence. Ooh, that's really, really long.
That's what she said.
Now 15 seconds, usually you call it a clip. 30 seconds, that's a scene. I can ask for an establishing shot, cut inside the car, move into a close-up, let the dialogue breathe, and still have time to transition into another shot. All of that with just one generation. That's really cool. So for this montage, I'm gonna take advantage of that. I want a 30-second driving montage. CJ is behind the wheels. Make him sound more hoodish. You know, I'm not very good at that, so you're gonna help me out. Alright, you know, you don't have to speak in like perfect sentence. It works as long as the agent can understand you. And these are the two clips that I got. Some of them are a little glitchy, but we don't need to put everything in. So always remember the editing workflow. Once you generate the clips, split every time the camera changes, delete all unusable footage, and rearrange what you have. So a quick recap, here's how much we spent so far. The script was completely free. We generated 36 images in 2K, which cost $4.54. Scene 1 cost us $4.06. The extra insert shots were another $2.52. And for the driving montage, we generated 2 30-second clips, which cost $8.12. So altogether, we spent around $19.24 so far. And honestly, it's not bad. And now we're getting into the hardest part of the video, which is the chase scene. So same process, I'm just gonna paste the script back into the agent and let us adjust the shots for me. Once I check through the prompts and everything looks right, I'll hit generate. I'm gonna do this as a 30-second generation in batches of 2 and see what we get. Why is the door like that? Why is the car in the middle of the track? Why are they walking like it's their first date? Why are they running away from the train?
Why you always complaining about my scenes, dog? You're not paying me enough for this, man.
There are definitely some good shots here. I actually think parts of the chase look really nice. So I'm gonna regenerate the opening of this clip, but instead of doing another full 30-second clip, I'm just gonna cut it down to 15 seconds. There's no point spending that much when we only need to fix a few shots. So I'll just tell the agent exactly what went wrong and ask her to fix it.
Get after him!
God damn it. And this is why I always try to be like honest with you guys, when it comes to generative AI, don't expect it to be perfect because it isn't. We probably just burn through another $10 trying to fix these shots. We can definitely salvage some of these shots during edit, but this is just part of working with AI right now. It can definitely save you a lot of time and money compared to the traditional way of filming, but it still feels like a slot machine. You generate, you pray, and hope for the best. But sometimes it just completely ignores what you ask for.
Just like my damn ex.
So yeah, this stuff happens, and I'd rather show you the bad generations too, instead of pretending everything works perfectly every time. So I asked the AI to make sure that it's running to frame right, and after a few more generations, I finally got the shots to work. Now we're getting into the hardest part of the scene, which is the train chase. If you follow everything up until this point, you're already ahead of 95% of AI filmmakers. Great editing is how to get past that remaining 5%. It doesn't cost any credits, just tons of effort. At this point, we have a ton of footage because we generated a bunch of clips, so some of it works and some of it is completely useless. So the first thing I do is get rid of anything that has zero chance of making into the final cut. For example, if they're running in the wrong direction away from the train, yeah, delete that. You can flip it, crop it, pray for it. If it still doesn't make sense, just delete it. Now with all the generations, we have almost 3 minutes of footage. Instead of just staring at this giant pile of footage and trying to edit the entire chase at once, I like to break the scene into smaller story beats. For this one, I'm gonna split it into 5 beats: spotting the gang members, grabbing the bike, chasing the train, the shootout, and finally the crash. So I'll separate all the footage into those 5 sections, and immediately this becomes way easier to deal with. Finish one beat, move on to the next, it's way less overwhelming. And it also makes it much easier to see what footage is working, what isn't, and what shots we might still need. I also separated the insert shots, shots like close-ups, the Vagos gang members. I'm gonna put this on the side for now and come back to it later. So the rest is just piecing each small story beats and make sure everything is smooth, camera direction is correct. Now, if anything doesn't connect, just like our first scene, we can bring in the insert shots to break the continuity. Now for the final scene, I want to keep the continuity from the last shot, so I'm gonna take a screenshot from the last shot where Big Smoke and CJ have just crashed and drop that image into the agent. That screenshot basically becomes our starting frame, so the next generation begins from the same position instead of creating a completely different scene. And honestly, dialogue scenes are much easier than the action stuff. I got something usable in just 2 generations. So that's it. Now we got all the footage, we can bring everything together and finish the video. So yeah, I've been through quite a lot of credits on the chase scene. In total, I generated 28 clips, which came out to about 5,800 credits. That's $40.60. This is definitely the most expensive part of the video so far.
Yo, stay to the end. We got something real cool for y'all.
Now for the music, I'm gonna use the agent again. I'll just tell it what kind of vibe I'm looking for, something G-Funk, 90s, LA, West Coast, gangster rap, something that works for a driving montage. Then I'll ask it to give me 3 different variations, and honestly, all 3 variations came out pretty good. So from there, it's really just about picking the ones that fit the scene. Bring everything into CapCut, piece the best shots together, add the music, clean up the pacing, and polish the final cut. And that's it. You got your full live action GTA video. Now remember earlier when I said I was generating everything in 480p? This is why. I'm gonna upscale the final video because obviously we're not delivering this thing in 480p. It's blurry as hell. I'm gonna show you an upscaling trick I discovered while making this, and honestly I haven't seen anyone talking about it. It saved me almost 5 hours of processing time. It's ridiculously simple, but it completely changed how I upscale longer AI videos. I can just use the upscaler on Yapper, so now I don't have to switch to other tools. So once the edit is done, I'll bring the whole thing into Starlight 2.5 and upscale it to 4K. My final video is around 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, but here's a little trick. If I just upload a 2 minute and 45 second video into Starlight 2.5, it's gonna take forever to upscale. We're talking about like 6 to 7 hours of processing time. So instead, I split the video into smaller chunks, around 30 seconds each. I ended up with 6 clips, then I upscaled them separately. That way, each clip takes less than an hour instead of just waiting for one massive render. Once they're done, I bring everything back into the editor and piece them together. Starlight 2.5 is a really powerful video upscaler that boosts resolution and sharpens fine details, helping your videos look cleaner and more polished. You can always check it out on Yapper. But there is a trade-off. If you upscale a 2 minute and 45 second video, it's gonna cost 6,290 credits, which comes out around $44.03. It's gonna take roughly around 6 to 7 hours. But if you split it into 30-second chunks, each 30-second clip will cost 1,150 credits, and the 15-second clip will cost 560 credits. So total, it will cost 6,310 credits, which is 20 credits more.
Ha! That's what I'm talking about, my neighbor.
But there's one thing that I want to point out is that if you generate in 480p, you're gonna lose some details and textures in your video. So an upscaler can improve what's already there, but it can't magically recover details that we never generated in the first place. So for certain shots, especially ones with a lot of fine details, it might be worth generating in higher resolution if you want the best possible quality. Another reason why I don't recommend generating everything in 4K, because you might end up with shots like this. Yeah, this costs $12 and 5 gallons of water.
How dare you!
So don't treat it like it's a one rule for everything, mix and match depending on the shot, and just be smart about how you spend your credits. And now it's time to look at the final result. Enjoy the surprise cameo at the end.
Yo, Smoke. What's happening, man?
Man, we got some fools out here making moves. Vago's been acting real bold lately.
Yeah? What they into now?
Heard they got something going down over by the station. Ain't sitting right with me.
All right, then. Let's go see what they on.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on. You know, business is business. Can't be tripping over every little thing.
I don't see no one here.
Ah, hell. There them fools right there.
On top of the train?
Yeah, man. They know they ain't supposed to be out here making moves like this. Come on, CJ! Get after him! CJ, get on!
All you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Cut! Good! That's fantastic! Absolutely amazing!
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
I'm not feeling your energy. I need this more believable. Channel that energy for me, all right?
I grew up in the hood. All this is real for me.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. Just channel that energy.
Yeah, mate, you need to find that inner emotion. I like to think of when my mum wanted to send me to prep school, but I actually wanted to go to Oxford and do theatre.
Yeah, that's what I want, all right?
Right! Let's go again! Action! Crash again!
I kept the budget as low as possible because I think that's more realistic for a lot of people, but again, $100 can be a lot too, especially when you're just starting out with AI. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. If you want to use all the tools and assets that I use, check the link in the description below. We also have a free Discord community where people just share filmmaking techniques, exchange ideas, and you can showcase your work as well. So let me know, what challenge would you want me to do next? Comment down below and I'll see you in the next video.